I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a moment of silence, please. Sorry. Roll call.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Here.
Counselor Schneider?
Here.
Counselor Stickley?
Here.
Council President Steers?
Yeah.
We have 5 members present, we have a quorum.
Great. Council has had time to review the prior meeting's minutes. Do we have a motion to?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the prior meeting minutes moved by Counselor Schneider, or moved by Council President Steers and seconded by Counselor Heising. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, we had no one wishing to address council tonight, and we're full with department heads. Actually, the flu is hitting our department heads, and Keith is out with his grandchild's birthday party today, and we're kind of weak. So glad it's the second week and not the first week of all the reports. We're gonna move on then to our committee reports.
Got Tom.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
so sorry. Do
You
you have
have anything
anything
to
to
say?
report, Tom? I'm so
I'm busy
sorry.
telling my daughter I'm in a council meeting. I can't talk on the phone, sorry.
You're representing the department heads tonight.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so funny.
And we have nothing to report, except to say Merry Christmas to council.
To you too
Happy
as
New Year,
well.
we'll see you on a doggone 29th,
On the 29th, yeah.
whatever it is. Sorry.
Oh, that's funny, no. Okay, so now we'll move on to our committee reports. The first one we have is buildings and grounds.
That's me.
Okay,
Attorney for Jan Bannister approached Tom McWaters to see if the city would be interested in purchasing some property on Glenwood. He showed us, it's 2 different lots, about 16 acres apiece, but they're separated. He explained, that both were 16 acres. We talked about the pros and cons of purchasing the property, and at this time, we didn't think it was necessary to have to.
that's right, okay.
Have to buy it, so. And she didn't even set a price for it, so we didn't know anyways, but we just didn't think it was anything that the city could use, so we're gonna pass on it for now.
All right, thank you. So we don't need any. Next one we have is our finance committee meeting.
Finance Committee met December 8th at noon, and Mary Huner, Jamie Jiguer, Josie Delaney, Phil Kessler, Kevin Chittenden, Keith Torbett, and Shane Chamberlain and myself were in attendance. And we went through the budget page by page, first with the police budget, and we went the fire budget, and very, very minimal changes. There was one director, Jiguer, noted permissive tax fund would need to decrease from 150,000 to 0 for this next year. There was another fund that she later changed from 199,957 to 198,715, a change of about $1,200 lower. Other than that, the budget allowed for $250,000 towards resurfacing. Very few changes, and Councilor Chamberlain made a motion to approve it as amended, and I seconded it, and all were in favor. Went pretty smooth, I think. Very few changes.
So So we'll need a motion to accept the Finance Committee meetings report.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Motion to, sorry, I didn't have it down. Recommendation to accept the Finance Committee's report moved by Council President Steers and seconded by Councilor Chamberlain. Any discussion? Council President Steers?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Heising?
Yes.
Councilor Stickley?
Yes.
Councilor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, and before we go into the Park and Tree Commission, we're gonna amend this meeting agenda real quick. We're gonna add a personnel
Oh.
report as well. I forgot that at the beginning of the meeting, so.
Thanks, Mayor.
Yeah.
We just had a very exhaustive Personnel Committee meeting prior to this meeting. The topic was the compensation of our clerk, and Sarah and I had good discussion about the topic, and we'd be presenting a recommendation tonight to increase the compensation of our clerk by 4% to coincide with the rest of the full-time and part-time employees. So
100% agreement.
that is our recommendation, is to increase the clerk's pay by 4%.
And we'll need a motion to accept that recommendation from personnel.
Actually, I think as long as there's not a vote, 3/4 against it, kind of like what with the
Is it the
department
same
heads.
for wages? Okay.
Yeah, just a recommendation.
Anybody have an issue with the 4% for
Nope.
your clerk?
Thanks for allowing that to come in tonight, Mayor.
Yeah, I almost forgot it, thank you. Let's see, then we're gonna move forward to our Park and Tree Commission joint meeting.
And that's me again. They had a combined one because Stephanie Miller from the Forestry Department came in, and she wants to schedule a risk assessment for the trees at Reard Park. Just determine when to prune them, target risk on some of the trees that might have to come down, and just basically when they should, trying to get rid of some of the dead limbs that could possibly fall, especially around the playground areas. She wanted to schedule the assessment sometime in January. I can't remember when it was.
Or, that'd be cold.
Yeah, but that's if the weather holds up. So that we would have to have a recommendation for that. She also asked about the gypsy moth outbreak that we had, I don't know how many years ago. I don't even think I was on council at the time. But Rick Fry said she's been keeping an eye on them and there's no problems with that. So, and then the park board and the WRA broke up and they had their separate meetings. The one thing the park board wanted to do was have the native grassland, an area made up for, cut down. It was an area, and you can see on your maps the areas that they want to do. It was kind of quite a bit. It would cut down on the mowing, and it would require minimum maintenance from the city to do that. It'd be wildflowers and other different types of attract butterflies and other things like that. And that we would have to have a recommendation on that one too.
Are you gonna do this in stages then?
Yeah, I
Is that
guess.
the recommendation, or?
Well, they recommended that whole thing, and I don't know. I mean, we had discussed it a little bit. And
I probably personally am more a fan of trying that smaller section because they haven't really gotten input from the public. And, you know, it's a lot more difficult to go back to grass for that
Huge.
big area.
Yeah.
If it's not working well and not desired
with
by
you
the
too.
public.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a lot of land to do that to, and then to try to take it back, that's a lot of seeding back. I like the idea of just trial first with the small patch. Good idea. So do you have anything else?
Then the tree commission got together. Now they just discussed Tree USA thing. They got the caterer down. and some other things all set to ready to go, where they're gonna have it. John Alexander he's on the tree commission, but he says that they planted 27 trees in the streets, in the boulevards, 2 memorial trees, and then they replaced 6 trees at Reard Park. And they're gonna start cutting down the street trees. They send out letters just to warn you that they're coming in unless you have a problem with it. They usually give you about 3 weeks, I think, before they come.
The boulevard trees are the dead.
Yeah. So.
But I gotta say, I really do think, I mean, we've had some hefty winds this fall, and we did not have a lot of damage in Wauseon. So, I mean, kudos to our public works. for
Yeah.
that. They really do a good job.
They planted a tree in front of my house 2 years ago, and I went outside to get my car, and, it's not that big, and John and another guy standing around with pruners. It was like, what they doing, but they're pruning those trees.
So they grow correctly.
Yeah, so there are no problems later. So I thought that was, John seems to be, I don't know if you know him, I don't know him just from the tree commission, but he seems to care about his job and the trees, so it's nice to have someone,
It's
an employee
passionate.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'd had, was it 2 recommendations, or no, just,
The one would be for them to come in and
yeah, the
assess.
risk assessment, recommendation for that, and then the park board recommendation to plant the wildflowers. And I think I agree with Sarah, start out with that corner.
Does that have to be in there, or?
Do you want to take that back to park board and say that council would recommend, or just go ahead with it?
Maybe I should take it back, probably.
Yeah, I think maybe have them come back with just that corner.
I'd feel more comfortable with that large of an area if they just had more public feedback, because they're the ones that use the park.
I'm on both boards, but I went with the tree commission, so I don't know what their logic was with the park board.
What does John think about this, the small area?
See, I didn't get a chance because I wasn't in that meeting.
I mean, they might be where they want to do all of it or none of it, so
Well, I think
lock
the
them into
way,
something that they don't want to do.
the way Keith talked, they were kind of in favor of the whole thing, because that's one area they wouldn't have to mow. There's been a lot of time out there mowing, that's time,
They do.
there's a lot of time out there spent mowing, but on the other hand, I don't think the people around there would be in favor of doing the whole thing. I would prefer just that.
It would change the dynamics of the park. It was made to be a kid-friendly, family-friendly, go out and play soccer and all of that stuff back in the day when it was created. That flat area in the middle, Sarah brought up a really good point, is the fact that, we have pavilions there that children can run and you can view them and you can see
Yeah.
what's happening. Whereas if you put a barrier up, it becomes more of a nature area versus a kid-friendly. So, I mean, we do have the woods, which, is wonderful for trails and natural, but I like that beginning area. I think that'd be a good try.
We are not in an area where we are fighting urban sprawl, so, I mean, there are nature-focused areas people can go if they want more of that, but, I mean, I guess I think of some of the things, like, I think the trash will get caught up in the, I mean, I know there will be less mowing, but there would be other maintenance required.
You also might get wild animals. that
Scott,
you wouldn't want.
in this small area, are they planning on putting trails in, similar to what that is?
I think they were planning on putting like
And
a trail through it.
And connected into the main
Yeah.
trails?
Yeah,
All the
I don't know
woods?
about connecting it, but they, even if they did both areas, they were planning on putting
Walking
trails through
trails.
there, walking
I think we're
trails.
gonna start with the small area
Yeah.
and go from there. That's what I thought.
That's what I think.
Should I take it back to them before we?
I would.
I think I would, just to make sure that they're on board with that. Maybe they
Okay.
don't want to do anything if they can't do
They
all
they
of it.
can't start on it till
Right.
spring anyway.
Well, I think what I'm hearing is council's recommendation is that they would like to see it in the smaller format in that corner. And if you take it back and they're okay with that, I think it would be a go.
that section is still a significant, portion of flat
We'll have
grass at this point,
recommendations.
so.
Yeah.
So is Park Board or Public Works, which one wants it?
Well, it got brought up at Park.
Park Board?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Keith made it sound like Public Works was in favor of it because it would decrease the amount of mowing that they have to do.
True, but like the mayor said, it's still gonna increase, you're gonna have to maintain it
Oh, yeah,
somewhat,
somewhat, yeah.
so you're
Weeds
still
and
gonna
weeds.
have work involved.
They're gonna have to check occasionally for invasive weeds and all kinds of stuff.
And the blacktop.
So
weed,
risk
yeah.
management, is that gonna be by John Arps and them, or?
Yeah, well, Stephanie Miller from the forestry department's coming in.
Also?
Yeah, she's gonna be leading that.
Well, from what I'm hearing, we got 2 recommendations that came forward, and council gave their opinion on the one recommendation for the native grasses, and also there's a recommendation to move forward with the risk management. So can I have a movement on those?
Well, since they're separated, I'll make a motion to go with the risk management
Okay.
as a motion.
I'll second that.
Recommendation to schedule a risk assessment tree program for Ragar Park, moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Second recommendation brought forward was a proposal for 2 areas in Homecoming Park. Council, after their discussion, thought it would be nice to go with the smaller portion in front of the woods. So I'll need a motion for that.
I would make that motion, Mayor, for the small portion
Okay.
to be done.
Let's second the motion.
Recommendation to move forward with the planning and implementation of the native grasslands of Homecoming Park, moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Chamberlain. Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
So, I'm sorry, so that should reflect that it was just in the small area.
Okay.
I would like to just say, I hope that they are open to listening to people then, and, just do people feel that's a positive change or not before moving with, forward with that large section? I just would be interested to know, public opinions,
Okay.
however those might come in.
You'll get them after the first section.
Alrighty. We need to move forward on the first readings. We have a lot of emergencies, so I'm going to try to read faster. We have ordinance 2022-6, an ordinance to approve, adopt, and enact the 2022 replacement pages to the codified ordinances, to repeal ordinances in conflict therewith, to publish the enactment of new matter and declare an emergency.
I'll make that motion.
Second it.
Motion to place ordinance 2022-6 on emergency reading, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Council President Steers. Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final reading?
I'll second.
Motion to place ordinance 2022-6 on final reading, and the final reading be passed, moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Next, on the first reading, we have an ordinance 2022-7, an ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Wauseon, state of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022.
I will move on that.
Second?
Motion to place ordinance 2022-7 on emergency reading, moved by Counselor Heising and seconded by Counselor Stickley. Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final.
Second.
Motion to place ordinance 2022-7 on final reading and the final reading be passed moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Council President Steers. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-36, a resolution revising Section 6, Paragraph B of the City of Wauseon's compensation plan to eliminate merit raises tied to annual evaluation scores and declaring an emergency. We never did that.
I'll make that motion.
I will second.
Motion to place resolution 2022-36 on emergency reading moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Heising. Counselor Stickley?
Oh, you asking?
Yeah.
You gotta speak up because Cheryl's ears aren't very good. Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor
Don't know why
Schneider?
you-
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yeah.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final.
Second.
Motion to place resolution 2022-36 on final reading and the final reading be passed moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Council President Steers. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, resolution 2022-37 is a resolution revising section 623.3A1 of the City of Wauseon Local Government Manual and declaring an emergency.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion to place resolution 2022-37 on emergency reading moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Council President Steers. Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final.
Second.
Motion to place resolution 2022-37 on final reading and the final reading be passed moved by Council President Steers and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Council President Steers?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, resolution 2022-38 is a resolution approving a wage increase for full-time non-union employees and declaring an emergency.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion to place resolution 2022-38 on emergency reading moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Council President Steers. Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final.
Second.
Motion to place resolution 2022-38 on final reading and the final reading be passed moved by Council President Steers and seconded by Counselor Stickley. Any discussion? Council President Steers?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, resolution 2022-35 is under second reading. A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement for engineering services and declaring that an emergency.
I will move on that.
Second.
Motion to place resolution 2022-35 on emergency reading moved by Counselor Heising and seconded by Counselor Stickley. Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final.
Oh, second. He's really.
He wants to get home.
No, I'm
Yeah, he's ready.
excited about the engineering services.
That's pretty well decided. I
Yeah.
couldn't get it over with.
Steve, yeah.
There's no firms left in the States that we don't have.
Motion to place resolution 2022-35 on final reading, and the final reading be passed moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay. Nothing under third reading. So under new business, I need a motion to authorize the Director of Finance to pay all the bills through December 31st of 2022.
I will gladly make that motion.
Let's second the idea.
Motion to authorize the Director of Finance to pay all the bills through December 31st, 2022, moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Chamberlain. Any discussion? Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, and we have to do the motion to appoint Counselor Chamberlain and Council President Steeritz and Brett Cole to the Volunteer Firefighter Dependent Board again.
I will
for next
gladly
year.
make that motion too, Mayor.
All right,
I will
thank you.
second.
Motion to appoint Counselor Chamberlain, Council President Steeritz, and Brett Kolb to the Volunteer Fire Department Board, moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steeritz?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
I only have one other thing. Council, if you get a chance to see Bill Drummer, Vic Kales, the firefighters right now, they've been so busy with everything that's been happening down in Wauseon. The ice exhibit is amazing downtown. I don't even know what the total number was on those. The Bethlehem, we averaged about 450 people a night for 3 Sundays, which is really good. A lot of out of town, Toledo, Monclova, a lot of people are coming to Wauseon for that. So people work hard. So if you get a chance to see them, a thank you would be great. Bill's tired. It's
We
been
have
a
really
long month.
enjoyed watching all of the ice sculptures.
And they haven't built it
You know,
yet, so you can still see
I
it.
don't think they're gonna, I
They're
think
really
we're gonna get,
beautiful.
yeah, we're gonna get our time to be able to go down and really
And the
enjoy
weather's
those.
perfect to keep
Yes.
them nice and solid for a bit.
Exactly. Council, anything else under new business before we move forward? Okay, let's go on to old business. I have nothing, so we just need to approve the bills.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Motion to approve and pay the bills as presented, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Council President Steeritz. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steeritz?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
And before we adjourn, just gonna wish you all a Merry Christmas, even though we're back here on the 29th. Have a safe and happy New Year. And thank you for the cookies, Steve. Very nice.
Get your cars off the streets.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah, we get snow, make sure you heed the ordinance. Get
And
your cars.
and the
It sounded
police
like
will
your
knock on your
father.
door at 2 o'clock in the morning. I should know.
That's just them bringing you home.
Okay, can we adjourn?
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion to adjourn, moved by Counselor Chamberlain
Get your
and
car
seconded by Counselor Heising. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.